and it's basically true. I met Ogle Hamlin in camp at Vicksburg, 90 pounds of him skeleton covered with skin. Muscle Shoals was the place where he said he had been, wounded and taken by Nate Forrest men. Pinned up at Cahaba, they cut off his arm, and he sickened and weakened besides. And through terrible suffering, he couldn't tell why he still lived when so many had died. The steamboat Sultana of the M&P line was waiting at Vicksburg to take us away to Camp Chase in Ohio for mustering out to our farmsteads, our families, our sweethearts, our wives. But when we arrived at the dock to embark, a discouraging sight came to view. Men were packed on like hogs without scarce room to breathe. Pretty soon they had packed me and Ogle on too. And the April floods at Memphis rise 5 miles to the Arkansas shore. How many good souls has that river took down, never to see their dear families no more? I said, Captain Mason, can't some of us go on the Pauline Carroll? Her decks are all free. He said, son, for each man the Sultana takes on, the government gives me a $5 fee. And the Carroll, she ain't got no contract, you see. She runs for the A&M line. So for every last man I send over to her, the government don't give me one blessed dime. And the April floods at Memphis rise 5 miles to the Arkansas shore. How many good souls has that river took down, never to see their dear families no more? It was 2 in the morning and most were asleep, dreaming of freedom their long hearts desire. 6 miles above Memphis the boilers let go, and the upper decks caved and slid into the fire. Oh God, I can't tell it, the terrible screams as their young lives were burned up and gone. Still I saw through the smoke and the wreckage and flames Ogle V. Hamlin with a life jacket on. Then I saw a young girl of just 8 or 9 years run away from the flames and look over the rail. Oh, mother, where's mother? She cried through her tears. She said that she'd be with me here without fail. Ogle placed the life jacket around that poor girl, and with his one hand helped fasten her snug. And the last time I saw him, he floated downstream with his one arm hooked over a sycamore log. And the April floods at Memphis rise 5 miles to the Arkansas shore. How many good souls has that river took down, never to see their dear families no more. God bless those dear ladies of Memphis that night, who waited at the wharf boat to lifted me out. The cold river had taken the heat from my bones. My legs couldn't move and my life was in doubt. But they wrapped me in flannel and blankets of wool and set me down safe on the shore. With the few who were living and the many who died that cold night in April at the end of the war. A child in a life jacket lay on the ground, her eyes closed so peaceful as if only asleep. And next to her, trembling and shaking with cold, sat Ogilvy Hambelin all in a heap. Ogle took off the blanket from his poor wasted frame, and with his one hand drew it over her head. Then he walked to the ambulance on his own feet, and they took him away to a hospital bed. And the April floods at Memphis rise 5 miles to the Arkansas shore. How many good souls has that river took down, never to see their dear families no more. Never to see their dear families no more.